Squishy Squares casting on. In this video I'm going to show you two methods of casting on for this blanket. So the first one is going to be doing a cable cast on. How do you do that as a beginner? It's very easy. Make, you don't need a very long tail. Make a slip knot and use your needle size. So I'm using a 6. And I've got, that's probably even too long of a tail. You don't need much of a tail. Now to do the cable cast on, the way I started, this first stitch I just knit into as though I was knitting a regular stitch. So I knit it, but what I do next is I pull a little bit of length out and I bring it around like this and I put it back onto the left needle and I pull, but not super tight, just pull it to the tension. Okay, that's the first one. After that, what you do is you insert your needle not into the loop like you normally do when you knit, but in fact between the two loops. You're going to insert the needle between the two loops like that. Okay? And you pretend that that's a stitch you're going to knit. It's like you've gone into a stitch, but you haven't. You've gone in between. Okay, so there I've pulled it out. And now I draw a bit of length, and as I did before, I place the loop onto the left hand needle and I just pull it, not super tight, just pull it, just get rid of that extra length. Alright, I'll show you one more time. Between the two loops, I insert the needle, it's between, and I knit the stitch, whoop, and that happens to me too. And I knit the stitch like this, and I pull a bit of length, bring the loop around, put it over top, and pull it, but not super tight, just pull it to a tension. And I do it again. I go between, not into the loop, but between these two stitches, like that. Wrap it around the working needle, bring it through, like that, pull a bit of length, and up over top. And pull, but not super tight. And that is called the cable cast on. That's a great method to use for this blanket. The second method you can use, which might be a little bit easier, and this is where a crochet hook might come in handy. So what I'm using is a crochet hook that is a half size larger than my needle. So my needle is a 6 and this crochet hook is a 6.5 millimeter. So I make a slip knot, and this time I'm putting it on the crochet hook, not the needle. I take my working needle and, whoop, let's get it out of the way here. There we go. Take my working needle and I put it in between the yarn and the crochet hook, like that. Then we're going to crochet. So I crochet a loop, just like that. Now I take this yarn and I bring it back around the needle so that the needle is once again between this working yarn and the crochet hook. And now I crochet another loop and I bring the working yarn around the back side and I crochet another loop. I bring the working yarn around the back and crochet. Bring the working yarn around the back and crochet. Bring the working yarn around the back and crochet. And you crochet until you have just shy of your 1 stitch. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I needed 7, you would count the one that's on that crochet hook and you would just slip it around and put it on top. And now you have the required number of stitches. So those are the two methods I recommend for casting on for the squishy squares.